Understanding human behavior and how people communicate can give you powerful insight into how someone feels about you, especially when those feelings aren't openly expressed. And when it comes to relationships, particularly with a married woman, it becomes even more complex. People often communicate their emotions in subtle ways, and words can be a reflection of deeper feelings that they may not want to fully acknowledge or act upon. It's important to approach this subject with respect, maturity, and sensitivity, as relationships, especially marriages, are intricate, and it's essential to avoid jumping to conclusions. In today's video, we'll explore 10 specific words or phrases that can reveal when a married woman might have a deeper emotional connection to you. These aren't necessarily direct admissions of romantic feelings, but they are subtle indicators that could suggest a hidden attraction or connection. However, we'll also discuss how to interpret them mindfully from a perspective of Stoicism, ensuring that we remain calm, rational, and in control of our actions. Number 1. I'm so glad I married him, but... At first, this might sound like a compliment to her husband, right? She's affirming her marriage, but then the but slips in, and that changes the context. The but here is where things get interesting. When a married woman says something like, "I'm so glad I married him, but..." especially when the topic turns personal or reflective, it might signal a deeper layer of emotional complexity. This isn't necessarily an indication that she's unhappy with her marriage, but it can point to unspoken desires, emotional gaps, or unmet needs. It could mean she feels confined or restricted in some way and may be searching for something that's missing in her life. It's essential to approach such a statement with empathy and understanding, as it may reveal a sense of emotional tension. In Stoic philosophy, we are reminded to understand others' emotions without judgment, but to also maintain our boundaries. This phrase might invite you to listen empathetically, but also recognize that her personal emotional struggles shouldn't be the basis for your own decisions or actions. Number 2. I wish I had more time for myself. One common phrase that a married woman may say is, "I wish I had more time for myself." This statement can tell you that she feels overwhelmed, underappreciated, or like her personal needs are being neglected. It's a subtle reflection of her desire to reconnect with her own individuality, separate from the roles she plays as a wife or mother. The issue of time is crucial here. It's not just about physical time, but the emotional space she may be craving. This longing for personal freedom can indicate that her emotional world is feeling crowded, and she may not feel fully satisfied with the balance in her life. From a Stoic point of view, we recognize that everyone has their own internal struggles. Her desire for me time could stem from a personal need for self-care or reflection. Understanding this can help us show compassion without overstepping our boundaries. It also encourages us to maintain our own emotional independence and not be swayed by external desires. Number 3. I feel like I never get to do what I want. A phrase like this may come across as simple frustration, but it's often much deeper than that. When a married woman says, "I feel like I never get to do what I want," she's revealing that her personal needs or desires might be consistently pushed aside in favor of family responsibilities, her partner's needs, or other obligations. This could suggest that she feels emotionally unfulfilled, or perhaps disconnected from her own sense of freedom and self-expression. This kind of statement could reflect dissatisfaction with her current circumstances, leading her to seek emotional or intellectual fulfillment elsewhere, possibly in someone like you, who may provide a sense of escape or emotional validation. But in Stoic philosophy, we understand that external circumstances, no matter how challenging, are not within our direct control. What we can control is how we react, how we manage our emotions, and how we stay true to our values. It's important not to confuse sympathy with romantic interest. Number 4. I'm just being friendly, but... Now this one is a classic. A married woman might say, I'm just being friendly, but I think about you a lot. This phrase can be a tricky one because it masks a deeper sentiment beneath the surface of being just friendly. By saying this, she acknowledges that she might be forming a deeper emotional connection, but doesn't want to fully express it yet. It's a subtle confession that she's attracted to your personality, and perhaps she's starting to feel something more than just platonic admiration. In situations like this, a Stoic would remind us to be cautious. While it's important to acknowledge and understand someone's emotions, it's equally important not to misinterpret them. We must maintain control over our own desires and reactions, always exercise self-control, and be mindful of the consequences of your actions, especially in complex relational dynamics like this one. Number 5. I really admire the way you think. Compliments can sometimes hold a hidden layer of meaning. When a married woman says something like, I really admire the way you think, she's not just complimenting your intellect, she's acknowledging a deeper attraction. This might be her way of saying, I see you as someone who is different, someone who stands out to me in a unique way. These types of compliments often go beyond surface-level admiration and suggest that she feels an emotional connection to the way you process thoughts, or even your values and principles. It's important to remember that admiration doesn't always translate into romantic feelings. This could simply be an acknowledgement of your personality or insights. Stoicism teaches us not to read too much into such compliments, but to stay grounded and focus on maintaining a healthy balance between self-awareness and empathy. Number 6. If only I had met you sooner. If only I had met you sooner is a powerful statement that can be indicative of regret or longing. If she says this, it suggests that she may be imagining a life where things were different, a life where she might have chosen a different partner or different path. It's a statement loaded with a sense of missed opportunities, and in some cases, it can be her way of expressing a desire to explore something beyond her current circumstances. While it could be a harmless expression of what might have been, it can also suggest an attraction or connection that she feels is impossible to fully pursue. In Stoic philosophy, this highlights the importance of accepting reality as it is, rather than getting lost in fantasies or regrets. We must maintain an awareness that the present moment is the only one we can control, and that actions must align with our values and integrity. Number 7. You remind me of someone I used to know. This one can be a bit subtle, but when a married woman says, you remind me of someone I used to know, she's often making a comparison. She might be referencing an ex or someone who meant something to her in the past, and this comparison could be her subconscious way of connecting emotionally with you. It might indicate that she sees something in you that triggers memories of someone she once had deep feelings for. This can create a sense of emotional intimacy, as she might be trying to gauge your response or bond with you over shared characteristics or experiences. While this might seem like a harmless observation, a Stoic perspective would remind us to focus on the present and not to become overly fixated on the past. By staying grounded, we can navigate such situations with clarity, recognizing when someone is simply making a comparison versus when they may be seeking something deeper. Number 8. We need to hang out more. This is another subtle indicator. When a married woman says, we need to hang out more, it could be an invitation to spend more time together, but it may also suggest that she's enjoying your company beyond just casual interaction. She might feel that there's an emotional connection between the two of you that goes beyond friendship, even if she hasn't fully acknowledged it yet. The request to hang out more can sometimes be a form of testing boundaries, seeing how far she can get without crossing any lines. From a Stoic perspective, it's essential to stay aware of the potential consequences of deepening such a connection. While we should always be kind and considerate, maintaining self-control is key to ensuring that we don't act on fleeting emotions or desires that might not align with our values. Number 9. I wish I could be as carefree as you. When a married woman says, "I wish I could be as carefree as you," she's expressing a sense of longing for the freedom or lightness that she perceives in your life. This could be a reflection of her own emotional burden or dissatisfaction. It suggests that she may be seeking a different lifestyle or emotional state, one that feels less encumbered by the responsibilities and constraints of her marriage. In Stoicism, we are taught to maintain emotional balance and to remain unattached to external circumstances. This type of comment should be taken as an expression of her internal struggles rather than an invitation to change her reality. Number 10. Can I ask you something personal? Finally, when a married woman asks, "Can I ask you something personal?" it's an indication that she might be trying to create a deeper connection with you. This could be her way of gauging your emotional availability and testing how open you are to more intimate conversations. It might be her way of seeking validation or reassurance, or perhaps even trying to explore a side of herself that she feels is unexplored in her marriage. In a Stoic sense, we would view this as an opportunity for self-reflection. It's important to maintain emotional clarity and integrity in such moments, ensuring that we don't become caught up in a connection that isn't in alignment with our personal values or the respect we should show to others' relationships. Conclusion. So, there you have it. 10 words or phrases that might give away when a married woman likes you. While these phrases can indicate deeper emotional currents, remember that context and intent are crucial. It's important to understand the complexity of relationships and to navigate them with respect and maturity. From a Stoic perspective, it's about remaining calm, rational, and in control of your emotions. Stoicism teaches us that we should focus on our own actions, our own responses, and how we choose to interact with the world rather than getting caught up in the emotions of others. This allows us to act with wisdom and integrity, no matter what the situation. Thank you for watching, and remember, understanding human behavior is a journey, one where self-awareness and respect are always the key.